Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. Round 25 in the bag with an amazing score. Finally up there in the top 1% of the scores with a rank of 1,217 for the round. So pretty close to the top. So 2,731 green arrows, which is meh in comparison to what I thought it would be, but it's got myself back up into the top 8%, ranked 13,145. It sounds ugly, but there's 156,000 people playing this year, so it's not too bad. It can definitely be better next year. So, had a good week. Let's go over what happened. Let's go over talks of my last trade for this week. So my last trade for this year. So I am considering, obviously I need to, that was my first thought. So Brady was my first thought, but let's have a look. Let's have a chat. Cook, unbelievable, 117 points. Now, a lot of people obviously have been playing Grant. I wish I was one of them for the last however many weeks. But I have ran with Cook. And for this week alone, pretty much, Cook paid off. And Grant scored okay, but not his best in comparison to what he's been doing. But definitely Cook scored 117 in a well-beaten South Side. The Knights absolutely piled it on. They look shell-shocked, the Bunnies. And I am very, very happy to see Latrell gone for the season because he is an absolute clown. Fanua Blake, Tarpany, 65.97. You expect it, that's what you get. Tarp's really, really good score. He has been unreal for the back end of the season. Fafita at the 79 with a try, I think it was. I think he scored a try against the Panthers. Cam Murray at the 74, Nicker at the 57, Horse at the 70. Now, Horse was on track to score 80 plus easily if he didn't get sent for his HIA. He's been named this week, which is really, really good to see. Even though it's not the best matchup, but it's a good. He's a good player to have. He's a good player to have. It always mixes it up. He's low owned. He gets the job done. He scores well. So Cleary at the 93. I had the captain on him. I was worried. I was definitely worried. He's just playing that Cooper Cronk 2.0 style. He's just getting the ball, catching, passing, moving with the play. His running game has really disappeared lately, and I don't know. I think that hamstring is still a slight issue, and I think that maybe they're just telling him just to go through the paces and just wait until finals to kick into gear, because Cleary hasn't looked himself since the hamstring injury, but still scores 93. I mean, look, you can't argue with that. He was on a pretty poor score at halftime though and finished strong. So Hines with the 108. Manu with the 70. Now Manu has obviously been shifted back to fullback this week against the Tigers because Teddy didn't pass his we didn't get his exemption for his HIA. So Teddy misses a week. Manu goes back to fullback. He's a genuine captain choice for me this week. Obviously, Cody's on the bye. Ever since I got Cody, what was it, 6 weeks ago, he's been shit. And it's been so annoying because you watch him for the first half of the season, he was just absolutely killing it. And then the week that I get him in, he's just been... I said a few weeks ago, I was like, oh, you'd be mad not to run Cody, Latrell, some bunnies for the remainder of the season. And I was wrong. I was definitely wrong. They haven't looked anywhere near how they started the season. So yeah, Cody's on the bye. He sits on the pine. Asako at the 70, Garrick at the 68. I tried to be clever and I benched Marzu. I didn't play Marzu. And I still scored 1455 with 120 points on the Pine. I played Timoko over Marzu strictly because of matchups. Timoko still scores 96, thank God, against the Bulldogs. So I got that right. I just did not expect Marzu to get a hat-trick against the Rabbitohs. I genuinely did not see that coming. 120 points. If I just played Marzu as well as Timoko, I would have been 1500 plus for the round in place of maybe a Ronaldo or what could have been, What could have been 1500 plus if I played Marzu with Timoko. So anyway, Ronaldo with the 58, Ponga with the 91. Now, obviously this week I've only got one trade to make. I have to move Cook on. I have to play Manu in my 5'8", which I'm fine with because Ponga is my fullback. Garrick isn't playing, so obviously Asako comes in. Obviously Marzu comes in as well in the place of... Timoko is actually going to get one of the reserve spots this week because there's a bit of carnage around. We're still waiting to see 100% whether or not Garrick plays. Obviously, if Garrick plays, he will get my last reserve spot over Timoko. But the horse gets a reserve. Madison starts. Even though it's against Panthers, I still think that he will make enough runs and tackles to generate 50 plus, especially given that he's starting the game instead of coming off the bench. So I'm happy to put the reserve on him. I'm definitely not looking forward to a great score from him. Two very, very different things. So obviously Cam Murray's on the bench as well. He's not playing. Not on the bench. He's on the Pine. So my reserves for this week will be Manu, Hines, Madison and Timoko. But I'm looking at potentially playing Wilson against Manly if Garrick doesn't play. So that's going to be an interesting wait and see. I think Wilson can get a try against Manly. I think with Garrick missing, it could potentially open up some points in regards to the Bulldogs, and I think Wilson's going to be on the end of one of those tries. It'll be a lot closer than what people think in the Manly and the Bulldogs game. So wait and see. My captain this week will be Manu, but there are quite a few captain choices this week. So obviously Cleary, he's up against Parramatta first game, so he's my VC. He could absolutely run amok against Parramatta. I think at home, I think it's the last game of the round before finals at home. I don't know if they play again at home. Do they play again at home? Let's have a look. They know. Second last game. So the last game is against the Cows at home. But still, Parramatta look shot. I think their season's over. They realise that. They're not making the 8. Panthers want that minor premiership. Yeah. It's a genuine VC option. Obviously, if you've got an SJ over Cleary, SJ against the Dragons is definitely a VC option as well, or even a straight C, especially at home. Even though the Dragons have been playing a little bit better, I think the Warriors are a serious contention this year. So, as we all know, other captain options like even a Hines against the Knights, even though the Knights are playing very, very good footy, probably the best they've played since Joey Johns. I still think he can score 100 plus against the Knights. I mean, even in a losing side, it could be a high scoring game, 24-30, 30, whatever. Hines is going to be involved in a lot of that. So definitely an option. Ponga as well. He's also an option. I mean, even Marzu, he could come out and score a couple of tries again and score pretty well. So if you want to look for a pod captain, Marzu could definitely be up there. Yeah, I mean, look, one more trade left. So it's got to be Cook, obviously, because I'm definitely not playing Sonny Luke, the god. So Cook to the next best hooker for the next 2 rounds based on matchups. Now, my first initial thought is Brayley, but the one that stands out to me as well, I can't afford Grant, obviously, but the one that stands out to me is Croker. He's got the Bulldogs and the Tigers the next 2 games. Or possibly an Egan. Wade Egan. He's got the Dragons and I don't know who's got the next game, but Egan can definitely score well. He's been proven to score well in the past, especially he loves a try. So he's one of those hookers that can score tries. It's hard. I'm tossing up between Egan, Croker and Brayley. And it's a hard one. It's a hard one. Ownership wise, Croker's only owned by 1.8%, which is a good pod. Even Brayley's only 5% owned. Yeah. I don't know. I think I'm going to go with Brayley. Because he's just got a better average, and I think that's all. I don't want to overthink it. Just go with the next best averaging hooker over the last 5 to 3 games, and Brayley is possibly the guy. So we'll lock Brayley in for now, but look, if I change my mind between now and the weekend, it's going to be between Brayley, Croker. That's pretty much them two. Brayley, Croker and Egan. One of the 3. Anyway, yeah, that is that, guys. Pretty happy. Scored okay. Again, 1455. Could have been 1500 plus, but that's Supercoach. So we could go on and on and on about players that we could have played, but we didn't. So anyway, I hope everyone went well. 2 weeks left of the season. I'm out of all of my head-to-heads. I think I've got a few bottom 8 grand finals. I've got 4 bottom 8 grand finals, so how exciting. Anyway, thanks for tuning in, guys. One more week to go after this week, and then finals footy. So thanks again to everyone that's been tuning in all season. Appreciate every one of you. Appreciate the people who throw the comments in, throw the likes in, and let me know how you went let me know how you went on the weekend. Let me know how many trades you've got left, if any, and what you're thinking about doing this week and how your head-to-heads are going. And good luck for the rest of the season, the whole 2 weeks left of it. Cheers, guys, and I will chat to you next week.